Hey everyone, this week's going to be a little bit of scattered bits. So, first thing I wanted to bring up was I had to put a service call in on one of my Creality CFS units, which is the device that swaps the color. And it was a simple little board inside that needed to be replaced. It's under warranty, it got replaced. But as I was taking care of that call, it occurred to me that what would be a really good idea to do, and I still haven't done it, but it's still a good idea, is to label everything that I buy with the order number and the date. And depending on how hard or easy it is to get to or see the serial number, maybe add the serial numbers to it as well, just to be on the safe side. You know, I've got a little label maker here called a Fomimo. It takes wide tape. So it's not one of these little label makers that puts out the strip. So I can make a good sized label. I can print it vertically or horizontally. And I can use a good sized font. So it makes it easy for me to make these kind of labels up. Now, obviously, there's certain things you're not going to be able to label like this. But it might be a good idea to then either use a notebook or something to keep all that stuff in one place, especially order and purchase dates, because it's usually one of the first things that they'll ask for when you're putting in a warranty claim, and it's always a good idea to have that, especially when you've got multiple devices like I do. I have 3 CFS devices now on my Creality K2, so that gives me a total of 12 different colors. And you might think, well, that's a lot of colors. And yeah, it is. And you can also use it to copy over another color. For example, I'm making up bookmarks. I'm doing a lot of black and white ones. I could put an extra spool of white and black in. And as they're printing, if it runs out of black or white on the primary spools, it can go to these secondary spools. So you get a little bit of extra out of that as well. But being able to have 16 different colors in there and kind of blend them together is a nice thing to have. And like I said, they were great. Customer support for Creality was great. They sent me a couple of diagnostic things to try, which involved taking the CFS apart and checking to see if it thought there was something in the first filament, because it was defaulting to first filament all the time. And yes, it did. So that was the case. They sent me the little board out, and we're done. Quick, easy, relatively painless. If you're going to be doing 3D printing, you should be able to know your printer. This gave me more opportunity to find out more things about the printer, because I had to take something apart for a reason. And you shouldn't be afraid to use tools. These are not the $9,000 units that I'm assuming are built differently, or you have to send them back in to get things fixed on them. These are do-it-yourself units. If something goes, you just replace it. The filament comes in through what they call a Teflon tube. It's a plastic tube that's slick, and occasionally they're going to need to be replaced. Well, when you put your unit together, in a lot of cases you have to put those tubes in. Now you know how to put them in. Now you know how to take them apart. Now it's easy for you to handle it yourself. The heads can be replaced by you. They will occasionally jam. Sometimes the filament will break in an odd spot and things, and you're going to have to clean things out. You can do it all yourself. So that's one of the things I like about it. It's also the downside if you're looking for something that you're just going to print and never have to worry about. I've had a couple of heads I've had to clean out where they had filament stuck in them, but that's pretty much the extent of it. The one thing I do not like about the K2 is it's missing I'm not sure how they would do it, but like a little piece to slide in so that when you're taking off the front piece of the head, front piece on the head that has the gears in it to feed into the extruder, there's a spring in there. And when you push the thing, the little tab down to pull the gears away so that you can slide it out easier, if that tab slides front to back, a little bit, you can pop that spring out. And once out, you're done. That's it. Now, it's a $20 piece, so you're not talking a huge expense if you need to replace it, but you're down. All right, so having a couple of extra pieces around is always a good idea when you're doing any kind of 3D printing, just to be on the safe side. And the toolkit that comes with the Creality K2, and I believe they sell it separately as well, is a fantastic little kit to have because it's got all the tools you're going to need to work on your unit. That said, now let's switch over to go from labels to, let's go back to having a composter in your house. Now I have a small composter in the house. I talked about this, I think, last week, where I put these little tabs left over from my 3D printing in to hold the filter in place. They both slid out on me. I flipped them around. The one side was a little bit, I had them put in such a way that the side that was on the plate was on the filter. Top part was a little bit more rough, and I thought that might hold it in place, but did not. So I flipped it around so it goes the other way, so that the little tabs on the top where the filter goes into have the smoother parts, and the rougher part now holds the filter in under those tabs and helps hold it into place. We'll see how it goes. I might have to attach it with glue or something to the filters. Again, this is leftover stuff that the calibration printed, so I'm actually putting something to use that would otherwise go to waste. And that is working fairly well. Now, the other thing, if you've got one of those units and you also do something like shredding, cardboard can be composted, but it has to be shredded, and you have to have a good shredder in order to do that kind of work. And I've got one, so it makes up a little pile of stuff. But you can also do this if you shred your mail, for example. Take a handful or two of that out and put it at the bottom of your composter. As the compost sits in there, it will prevent it from sticking to the plastic at the bottom. It will stick to this paper that you put in there. Now, some of the paper is going to stick to your composter, and that's fine. But by having this in place, 90% of your compost is just going to slide right out for you without any issues whatsoever. It makes it very easy to take your small composter and put it out in your big composting pile. Again, if you print and you print in PLA, in theory, your composting pile, if it's warm and moist, will break down that PLA for you. I haven't had the opportunity to see how that's working. I've thrown a couple of pieces in test, but it's buried in a good-sized compost pile, and I haven't had a chance to go try to dig through and see how that's doing. But going through and labeling stuff, especially have warranties on it, if you've got a place you can put a label on there, having a good label, I mean, you can use the strip ones and do multiple strips, but that can be time-consuming. And quite honestly, I haven't been impressed with those labels' ability to stick to things at all. The labels that come out of the Phomemo, Phomemo, and for those who do phonetic, Papa Hotel Oscar Mike Echo Mike Oscar, it's a much better label. It's a kind of label you would normally see if you were buying like labels to put on return packages and things. So having something like that on the things that you can put it on is a great way of knowing when you got it, what the order number is on it, or what the date is on it, and things, so that way when a call comes in, you can just look at that, or when you have to go do it, you just take a picture of the label and send it to whoever is doing your warranty repair. Also, if you've got a hard-to-read serial number, and a lot of the serial numbers these days are pretty small, they are readable, but if your device is in an area especially where you may not be able to get in there, my K2 is at a place that getting around to the back of it is a bit challenging. I could put one of these labels around the front or on the side, so it's easier for me to get to and see. And I don't really care if it's got a little label sticking on the side of the device. I'm going to do the same thing with the CFSs because, like I said, I've got 3. They were bought at 3 different times. One came with the main unit, and the other 2 were to add-ons, done at 2 additional times. So I can put that on those, and then I'll know if one of them goes bad exactly when I got that unit and what time it was. So that's what I got for you guys this week, and I will talk to you all next week.